Now we look at the entire starting grid for Sunday's Great American Race. Dale Earnhardt Jr. going to line up first, but on the pace laps, he'll drop to the back of the field because he's not in the car he qualified for the race, which is going to push Kurt Busch up to the inside of the front row. The whole inside row will move up a spot as Jr. drops back instead of the whole crossover. So Jeff Gordon will remain on the outside of row number 2 for the 500, and he'll bring that row of cars to the green flag for the race. So remember, everybody on that left column is going to move up one spot as you go through the 2x2 here. Some of the others of note that you see there, Rusty?
Well, a lot of good drivers there, Alan. The thing that really pops out, though, is all the Richard Childress racing engines. 4 out of the top 5 positions for his engines. They're very, very strong this weekend, and I wouldn't doubt if one of them's in victory lane.
Yeah, we saw most of the day the drafting partners were teammates. The exception, Kevin Harvick and Matt Kenseth, were very fast and very efficient. Wouldn't surprise me at all to see them drafting again in the Daytona 500.
Just behind this group of cars, the Ganassi guys will be side by side on the grid. Juan Pablo Montoya will be in 13th position, and the defending Daytona 500 winner, Jamie McMurray, will be in 14th position on the outside of row 7. Be interesting to see if they can work together and get toward the front of the 500 field. A little further on now in rows 8 through 12.
You see, A.J. Allmendinger, he's had a pretty good week so far. The guy's getting better and better as a race car driver. Pretty impressive to me. But one of the guys I take a look at is Denny Hamlin. Really had some problems this week. Went below the yellow line in the Bud shootout, got that taken away from him, that win that it looked like he was going to have. Then the steering wheel fell off while I was qualifying. Then in the 150, he spins out. Look, Denny's really good. In fact, he's a lot of people's pick to win this Daytona 500. But Ricky really needs to right the ship right now, get back on track.
Yes, he does, Rusty, but he proved to us all last year what he's capable of. And the fact of the matter is, we haven't gotten any points for any of these races yet. As bad as it seems, it all actually starts on Sunday.
Tony Stewart has not had the kind of showing I think we expected from him so far in Speed Weeks, and he'll have to come from a little further in the field on Sunday in the 500. Back in row 13, Greg Biffle, I thought was very impressive on Thursday. He and Carl Edwards didn't end up getting the finishes in the qualifying race they wanted, and the Biff is going to have to come from back in the 13th row. A little bit deeper on in the field now.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with Brian Vickers. He's back in the saddle again after the illness last year. He's looking good right now. Pretty good solid run. He's been good in Speed Weeks and practice and everything, but I'm looking at old Wild Bill from Dawsonville, Bill Elliott, that guy. He's looking good out there. I mean, he's qualified well. He ran good in the 150s. I think he's got a great shot, Ricky.
Yes, and J.J. Yaley had to fight and claw and dig his way into the Daytona 500. Steve Wallace making his debut in the Daytona 500.
Also making his debut in the 500, Andy Lally just declared that he's going to run for Rookie of the Year in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. He will be in the 37th starting spot in that 71 car. Next to him, Joey Logano. Team's got to bring out a backup car after that big wreck in the qualifying race on Thursday, and Logano will be looking to try and dig his way toward the front. And the final drivers to make it into the 500 there at the back of the field.
Terry Labonte, he's one of the veterans, a great driver. I'm glad he's in this field, made it barely, but he's in the Great American Race.
Let's talk about starting position. In years past, with the big pack racing, people said, it doesn't matter where you start, you can draft toward the front. With these two-car drafts, and we heard Brian Vickers earlier in the show say you can get left and lost. Is starting position going to be more important than it's been in recent years here?
I think it is. You made that point earlier, Alan, and I think you were spot on. The difference, however, is that these guys still have to discipline themselves, that it's a 500-mile race, and it's the Daytona 500, the most significant race of the year, perhaps their life. So they have to show that discipline because you can take yourself out so easily because you're that sense of urgency or wanting to make a pass a little sooner than you were prepared for. The closing rate, all the things we've seen spell trouble for anybody that doesn't show patience.
Trying to get to the front in a hurry will get you in trouble.
Yes, it could get you in trouble. We've got the Daytona 500 with 43 cars. The most we've seen on the track so far is these 150s with 24 cars in them. I do think it's going to be a different looking race. I do think that you're going to be able to get from the back to the front easier in the 500 than you do in the 150 just because there's more air stirred up and there's more cars in the field.